I'm sorry. I don't know. I know that's not enough. I know it's not, but I don't know. I know those just sound like words, but they come from my heart. They really do.
7 o'clock here on your Wednesday night, and we do begin now with Susan Smith, the woman you just saw there. The 53-year-old double murderer was denied parole today for the deaths of her two sons. 30 years ago, she strapped 3-year-old Michael and 14-month-old Alex in their car seats and then rolled the vehicle into John D. Long Lake, telling police that a black man took her car with the kids inside, causing outrage in the community. Investigators, though, were doubtful of the story from the very beginning, but had no solid proof she was lying. After more than a week of questioning and extensive TV coverage, Susan Smith finally confessed. Today, she made her plea for freedom, but her ex-husband David objected, saying Susan Smith needs to stay in prison.
That I'm sorry that I put them through that. I really, really am. And I'm especially sorry to the drivers that I had to find them.
But what she did, not only to Michael and Alex, she came pretty close to causing me to end my life because of the grief that she brought upon me.
I didn't lie to get away with it. I really didn't. I was just scared. I didn't know how I could tell the people that loved them that they would never see them again. I didn't know how I could tell David he couldn't see his sons again.
And we're being joined now by criminal defense attorney Jack Swerling, who was a part of the trial, so to say, back in 1994, 1995. You were a legal expert for a number of media outlets back then. Thank you for your time tonight.
Sure, good to be here.
All right, so let's talk about this case for just a moment. Did you ever think she was going to get parole today?
No, I did not. I was pretty convinced that they were going to turn her down.
On what basis?
Well, I mean, the crime was so horrific. And it was, national, international news when, first of all, before they even found out she did it, and then certainly when she did it, became even a bigger story. And I just didn't think, I just think the crime was so horrific that the parole board was not going to grant parole.
She broke down in tears during her parole hearing, as you just heard. But I guess it failed to sway the parole board today. That on top of her ex-husband, David Smith, and other people petitioning the board to keep her in prison.
I heard he gave a pretty passionate statement about keeping her in. When the husband comes in, the father of the children comes in and said, I don't want her paroled, she should stay in jail the rest of her life, I think is what he said. That's pretty compelling.
When you look back at this case 30 years ago, are you amazed that it still resonates with the residents of South Carolina out there?
I think that there are certain cases that stay with people, forever. I mean, the crime is so horrific, and there was so much publicity at that time, and it was during the O.J. Simpson trial too, if I recall correctly. So I think this is just one of those cases that's going to stay with people for a long time, maybe forever. Anybody who was, at that time was watching the news would, I think, stay with the case, follow it.
In 2 years, she can try to get out again. But in your humble opinion tonight, do you think that's ever going to happen with Susan Smith?
No, I really do not think that she's ever going to get paroled. I think I think one of the comments that I heard was that one of the jurors had said, we want her to go ahead and serve a life sentence because they wanted her to think about it every day as opposed to a death sentence. And I think that the parole board's going to turn her down regularly now. Maybe when she gets into her late 70s, 80s, and they feel like they may want to do it at that time, but it won't be before then. I really don't think so.
She's had 30 years to think about what she's done, and the tears today compared to the tears back in 1994, again, covering the trial back then, they seem very similar to me, almost not believable.
Yeah, it's just to think about what happened at that era, if people were around during that era and understood what she had done, it really is very compelling, horrific crime. And I've been involved in a lot of serious cases, but this was probably, even for me, one of the more memorable cases that stuck in my mind. I don't think I'll ever forget it.
Right, and you say it was memorable. I know during the trial in July of '95, you were on several media outlets talking about this trial, and it just seemed like every day it was just like a new development in this case, one after the other. It's like nothing that she was saying from the from the very get-go
Right.
as far as what happened.
Right. Yeah, it was quite interesting being up there and going back and forth from Columbia up to Union and seeing the media there, the amount of media that was there, the coverage that it was getting, and then, you know, realizing what in South Carolina, what we were doing with Susan Smith versus what they were doing in California with O.J. Simpson. It was night and day between the two different trials.
All right. Criminal defense attorney Jack Swerling, as always.
Good to see you.
Thank you, friend. Appreciate you coming in tonight.
Oh yeah, that's great. Always, anytime, anytime.
And
we were
from-
just talking. I mean, it'd been, you know, there was a period of time I was coming out here pretty frequently
Yeah.
at one time.
Well, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, no, it's good. Anytime, you know
All right.
that.
Of course, you can get more details on our website. Simply go to WLTX.com.